Yo, what is going on? Welcome back to the show. Hope everybody is good. Today we're diving into player values, some elite talented players that are being undervalued based on current ADPs. What risk on these running backs we got today? I got two on my board, and it's very interesting where they lie today in terms of ADP and the value to return on investment that these gentlemen will likely return for us. That's the name of the game. We got to know getting those players, how we can stack our teams in the aggregate that much better is how we win fantasy football championships. Yes, I know it's early, but this is already getting a good basis point on what we're talking about. First one is Alvin Kamara. We know New Orleans Saints are going through some struggles of their own at this point. 2024 stats, he played in 14 contests, 228 attempts for 950 yards, rushing 4.2 on the average, 6 rushing touchdowns, added 68 receptions on 89 targets, almost 600 yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. Best part of an Alvin Kamara is the boom rate. This guy boomed basically every single game he played for us, 75% in 2024, 76.9% in 2023. He is the staple of consistency. He finished as the running back 10 last year, 231 points. Even though Alvin Kamara, I get it, a lot of y'all jumped ship on Alvin last year. I told y'all, pump the brakes because, stick with my advice, of course. Stay the course on an Alvin Kamara. His totals, I told you they were going to continue last year, and it's going to continue once again this year. Having one of his better seasons overall, he would have flirted with those top 6 numbers had he not missed time, with the final few games due to injury last season. This year we're back to the same boat. Who's going to be the quarterback? What's the outlook for an Alvin Kamara now with Derek Carr now retired? The Saints rolling with Spencer Rattler, Shog, and others to compete for that starting role. They didn't really add much in terms of depth at the running back spot. Added a Devin Neal as a rookie. Still got Kendre Miller. And, these are really the only two guys, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, potentially stealing touches from an Alvin Kamara. New head coach Kellen Moore, he's definitely no stranger, no slouch at this running back position to use them in bunches. We've seen it in Dallas. We've seen it in Philadelphia. Now we're going to see it once again here with these New Orleans Saints, especially with the potential weaker quarterback room. Garbage time, point productivity stacked is going to be heavy, man. PPR upside for Alvin Kamara. Check downs, game out of hand, give Alvin the football. We've seen this many, many times, and I don't foresee this changing this season either. Kamara, once again, is going to hover with that 300 touch mark on a team. Definitely will be playing from behind a lot, and they're going to utilize their best player in an Alvin Kamara in bunches. We do know this. He is still one of the better running backs in this league. He would have easily cracked even potential top 5 had he not missed time. He was just running like a bat out of hell last year. Still almost 1,000 yards rushing, but the catches and the PPR upside on the checkdowns with Spencer Rattler or a Shog will be the bread and butter once again this season. In terms of ADP value to return on investment, we got some projections. Right now he is sitting there at running back 17, overall number 44. So it's a little bit lower once again this year. A lot of people, getting a little skittish on the age. I completely understand the age argument for dynasty purposes. When we're talking redraft leagues, Alvin Kamara still is going to be one of these guys, can be an easy fill-in running back 2 for us and produce heavy point totals. He sits right now at number 15, Joe Mixon, Kenneth Walker the third at 16, Alvin Kamara slotted in at number 17, Chuba Hubbard at 18, James Conner 19, O'Mara Hampton, the rookie with the Los Angeles Chargers, sitting at number 20. ADP 17 for an Alvin Kamara is like stealing candy from a baby. Sign me up all day long. I can make arguments in a very big way over Joe Mixon, over Kenneth Walker. Mixon, he was good in Chicago, but the offensive line does scare me. Will C.J. Stroud have a bounce back year? We will see how it does shake down in Houston with Kenneth Walker. You guys know I'm a huge Kenneth Walker, Kenny supporter. But K9, he's always finding his way into that medical room as well, always undervaluing his ADP, always giving us headaches week in, week out because he just cannot stay on the field. It is a crowded running back room. Zach Charbonnet is also in the mix there as well. Chuba did very well, but I get, 18 at the value with a Kamara. Give me Kamara all day long. Can make arguments over a Walker and a Mixon as well, where James Conner and O'Mara Hampton as well. Kamara is definitely above them in my respect. Projected stat lines based on a 3-year measurable, 235.5 points for a top 12 finish once again, which could even get higher with that even being in a top 10 range. I get it. The biggest concern is going to be the quarterback situation. And I mean, but Kellen Moore is a very creative offensive mind. Potential boom rate this year, 73.3% for an Alvin Kamara. I do not dislike it whatsoever. A lot of good upside still for Alvin. As, okay, the age is going. This might be one of the last years I promoted Alvin Kamara, but he's still one of my dudes, and I'm promoting in a very big way. Breece Hall, number 2 on my board for what risk type of players, value to return on investment. And why are y'all so concerned about Breece and his production? I mean, he's legit had no real quarterback option to help out this offense in his short career. We know this. It's been a struggle in New York. The knee injury derailed his rookie season, kind of bled into that second year as well. Did not crack. He still has not cracked 1,000 yards. That's why a lot of people are kind of off a Breece Hall bandwagon. That's why the New York Jets are flirting with the opportunity of not paying his fifth-year option. We understand what it is. I mean, he's been capped so far with only 5 rushing TDs as a career high so far in his young career, but playing with the likes of my dude, Justin Fields, I do believe it's going to bring much better opportunity and make this New York Jets team a run-first club as it should be. With those RPOs, should be more explosive on the ground, even better upside. You know, we're talking about how this Jets offense could potentially be with Justin Fields. Fields reuniting with his dude Garrett Wilson from the Ohio State Buckeye days. Absolutely love it. It's something that could uplift this pass attack as well. Don't get that twisted. A lot of y'all thinking that Justin Fields is a crappy quarterback. They did not let this man throw in Pittsburgh, and I think that he will return to some levels of optimism. Is Justin Fields ever going to be an elite-level passer? Probably not, but at least he can showcase what he was at Ohio State with guys like Garrett Wilson. It's going to remove stack boxes, leaves Breece, to have, best, opportunity that we've seen likely in his time in New York. And I'm not saying, again, Justin Fields is not going to be the savior in the passing game in New York, and he could potentially be. I'm not going to write it off completely, but there is, good, better opportunity here, but I don't believe he's ever going to be the elite savior quarterback for this team anyway. But now with this read option now available, chemistry with a Garrett Wilson, the trio, they could definitely turn heads in fantasy football. It could be quite good and quite plentiful when it comes to this year's point totals. I do understand the argument of Justin Fields now being the guy with the RPOs, with the rushing upside, could vulture some TDs in the red zone, vulture those tutties. I mean, it's going to be a problem, but I mean, 5 TDs for Breece Hall in the production that, for his career and the production that we have seen without him scoring massive amount of touchdowns, he still is able to do it. So there will be a mix and match with that as well, give and take with those vulture touchdowns from a Justin Fields, Braylon Allen as well, Isaiah Davis. There is some issues when it comes to the multi-back sets as well. So I do understand that argument also, but the fact that they should get in the red zone, a lot more potential, more garbage time, point productivity from these New York Jets as well with Justin Fields. I do love me some Breece Hall, especially where he sits right now today. His 2024 stats, he played in 16 games, 209 attempts, 876 rush yards, only 5 TDs match that career high, but he did earn his value in that PPR upside once again. 76 targets, 56 receptions, almost 500 yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns. Boom rate definitely went up big time from 2023, where 2023 it was 52.9% coming off that knee injury. Did not look himself until the latter stages of that 2023 season, but last year got right back up to 71.4, so he was giving us the goods when we required it majority of the time. Breece Hall was not failing us on the regular, and that is absolutely super important. 212 fantasy points, finished as the RB7. That's why they're sitting him at, running back 13 right now, behind a lot of guys that we could definitely make arguments for both the case of saying Breece could jump these guys, or Breece is actually, valued appropriately at this point. So who's on this list at this point where Breece Hall is ADP 13, overall 34? He's got Bucky Irving at number 9, Jonathan Taylor at number 10, Kyron Williams number 11, Chase Brown number 12. It's very difficult to make the argument to suggest that Breece Hall should not be chosen ahead of these guys, and should not be chosen, I should say it that way as well. It's both. It's pick your poison. Do you believe which offense is better? Bucky showcased that he could be that dynamo in fantasy football. Jonathan Taylor with somebody like Danny Pennies, even though, Danny's going to at least make the offense move, he can make some good point productivity. JT still could be a top top 5 running back. Kyren Williams, he's the staple and standard of fantasy football point productivity. But Chase Brown, James Cook, in that range, who are you taking? Breece Hall, Chase Brown, James Cook. I'm leaning towards, thinking that Breece Hall, we could stack our wide receivers, get our quarterbacks early if we wanted to. Super flex leagues, double stack your quarterbacks, still come back and get yourself a Breece Hall to, jump his ADP to return on investment in a very big way. Absolutely love where he sits, depending on how I want to do it. Do I want to double stack my wide receivers, come back and get Breece Hall as my running back 1? I do not dislike this whatsoever because he's still going to give you running back 1 upside with the volume that he does take on, and especially with this new New York Jets offense with Justin Fields. I do like it a lot. My projected rate for him at this season, barring any health, obviously is the issue, 244.8 points, which would put him in anywhere in the top 10 of top 8 running backs this season. So he is going to beat his ADP once again, barring any health. But I mean, I do like the potential rushing upside of this New York Jets team. 76.5% on that boom rate, going to hover roughly where he sits so far in his career. Absolutely love the potential for a Breece Hall, baby. I'm not getting off the bandwagon, but if we're saying Bucky, Taylor, Kyren, I'm going to take Kyren over Breece Hall any day at this point where we sit today. But Breece Hall is definitely turning into one of my guys as we get lower down this board that could bring us massive point returns for where we could pick them and stack our other positional needs, like getting high-end wide receivers and then Breece Hall to fill out the rest of them. But there you have it. That is what risk on these running backs, depending on value to return on investment on their ADP, because there's so much value to be had, and winning point totals consistently is where we get in the aggregate of your team. Building your roster with the talent you require and getting guys like Breece Hall later on is definitely going to be a massive win for a lot of us this season. But nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts. What are you thinking of Breece? What are you thinking of the other running back? I had Alvin Kamara slip my mind. What are you thinking of Kamara or Breece? You in, you out? Throw it in the comments. We can definitely talk it out, but we'll see you next time. I am out.